How's it going, guys? It's MetaGames, or Chris, as most of you know me, and this is going to be my first video in a while. I was really just taking a break from Yu-Gi-Oh! The last, 8 years has it been since 2014? I mean, I played until 2016, but still. So, this will be on my current deck that I've been taking to locals. I've been testing this build in particular the last 2 weeks. I've been seeing the most success with this. Before this, I was kind of struggling with Tearlaments, but since the Shizu meta game has kind of, post Darkwing Blast has settled in, I have gotten a better feel for this deck. I feel like I actually like the meta, I like the mirror match, so I'm just going to go into it now and stop the rambling and go into the theory behind it and plays. This is technically an undefeated deck profile as of the last locals, but you know, I'm hoping to get more real tournament testing with this build or a similar build. So as the new ban list develops, this is post ban list, so I'm gonna go over the 41 card main deck. So let's start with monsters. So we have 3 Havness. So I'll just do all the Tearlaments right now. 3 Shiren, 3 Rhino Heart, and 3 Merly. So I want to say this to begin with. A lot of this deck comes from Jesse Kotton's build in Hani, and you know, a lot of the recent top YCS toppers I don't remember the name of, so I'm going to give a lot of credit to them, but this is kind of my take on a mixture of all those builds from playtesting, because I played a lot of the builds and then I was like, oh, I don't really love these aspects. But that's kind of the beauty of Yu-Gi-Oh! You kind of build a deck around, you know, your strengths and weaknesses. And so yeah, I like all of them, because basically, at the end of the day, yeah, Merly at 2 and Rhino Heart at 2 might cause a little bit less brickiness, because it sucks when you draw 2 of them in the same hand. However, at 41 cards, I feel like it doesn't happen as much as you'd think. And then also, I think they are some of the best cards to have in your hand. So if I'm not, my worst hands are hands without these, and with basically unplayable Shizu or Bestials. It's a point where you lose, and I feel like if I at least have one of these guys, I'm doing pretty okay. So in the future, I was thinking about maybe cutting a Rhino Heart, but that's fine. I mean, Havness is the best one, obviously, and Shiren is incredible. Incredible cards. I don't see why they were not hit on the ban list. So for the next couple of monsters, we're going to go to the Shizu engine, kind of just do the same thing. 3 Mordora, 3 Keldo, nameless Keldo, 3 Kelbeck, and 1 Agado. So I've been seeing some variation on this. I mean, the decks are pretty similar altogether, but I feel like the little tech choices in between really kind of matter in grind games. So this is my take on this. I like Agado a lot. I just don't want to run ever one more of him. And these you kind of have to max out on. So there's really not much else to say. This is a hand trap that bounces to the hand. That's just insane. Keldo is obviously the best one, and likely the one to get hit first. And then Mudora is a pretty great card. These guys just do a lot. I don't run the Herald in the main deck, but this is obviously post-ban list, so there is only one to begin with. So, I feel bad for not looking at the camera, but I mean, we're doing a deck list here, guys. You aren't looking at my face. So we're gonna go with Bestial Staroneer. Oh wait, why am I doing it like that? Bestial Staroneer. And then 3 of the Druid Swarm, 3 Magnemite. I really love these cards. I wasn't it's kind of weird. I love these. They're just way too good not to run. You basically win the mirror match if you have 2 of these 3 names. That's why you need the Staroneer, just so you don't really, so you could potentially have all 3 in your hand, which does happen more, you'd think, with Magnemite. So they're just great cards. They go into they go into your Beatrice really well. Other builds I've seen run Wallow. I've thought about running Wallow. Don't have a Wallow. Test in the future, you know. 2 Diviner. So a lot of builds don't run it. I've been loving this card ever since I saw the OCG running it and I was testing this deck. So it makes Sprite Elf just extremely live, and it that card's so much better than when you don't run this, when you just run Herald. And now that Orange Light is banned as to 1, you kind of, like, I foresee people playing more of this, since you just have the space now, and it's a really good card to just go into Baron, or, you know, in my deck in particular, or other, you know, level 10 synchros and other decks. So it's just a really good card. It's also a pretty decent sprite, like your link target, and also it could make itself a level 6 to exceed with your Bastiles. So that's also one of the best parts of it. And that's going to do it for the monsters, I believe. Yes. So, wow. That's a lot of monsters we got there. So, let's just see. Okay. So, now we're going to get into the spells. We're going to get into the one-ofs, just broken cards. I mean, Terraforming, Instant Fusion. What else is there to say, honestly? Besides, these cards should probably be banned. I mean, Terraforming's fine at 1, I guess, but, you know, Instant Fusion's, like, your best one-of. Funny part is whenever I draw Instant Fusion is, like, I already have, like 3 plays, so this card ends up just being a Mud Dragon Exceed. Maybe I'm just playing wrong in that aspect. And then just, like, the tier spell cards. So 3 Pearl, 2 Scream, 1 Heartbeat. These are pretty standard. The best card in the deck, for arguably. It just wins you games with the popping effect. Also one of the reasons why I've lost so many locals, just from misplaying and not call it, or using my Pearl Arena when I was first trying the stacking game back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Here recently. 2 Scream, I like to search one, I like to mill one, as Jesse Kotton says. And it is also just probably the most important card in the grind game besides Pearl. I'd say probably even more important than Pearl, because if you turn 1 set this, it's just like in the grind game. You know, I think Jesse Kotton also said this best, where it's like you'll mill 3 on like each turn, and you know the attack defense actually comes up a little bit. So it's on top of Pearl especially, like that's just 1,000 extra attack. So it's just a super great card. I guess it could be bricky, but like I haven't bricked really with it too much, so I'm fine on that. And then Heartbeat, I'm thinking about cutting this. This is like the 41st card. I was like, before the ban list, I was like, well, this is a pretty easy card, but I can't really cut anything else. I don't want to run 1 Scream. This could probably go. It's a good mill, because you typically will have a trap in the grave at that point, and you can like pitch the Solic when you know you have that in your deck to still like send off a Rhino Heart if you on your 3rd fusion summon a lot of the time, so you can have both traps. So I think it's important for that too, because at that point you've probably exhausted your Scream, and you know you might have had to search the Merly off of Kikalos, so you won't have access to the trap outside of doing the you know, the Rhino Heart, or sorry, the Kaleido Heart pop. So yeah, those are the spells. It's a long explanation for the spells. And 1 Crime, 1 Solic. Like, I was thinking about running 2 Solic, especially now. I was running 2 Solic. I think Crime is just like really good on, it's like it's very broken on turn 1. When you are able to search this and have a Solic face down, it's very hard for your opponent to overcome that when you have a, you know, 2 fusions up, or just even like a fusion plus like the field, and you know, or with a combination of Bastiles in hand. Like that's basically the board you want to end on turn 1. You know, obviously plus like whatever for the deck, but like 2 Solic ends up bricking a lot of the time for me. You know, 2 Solic, I'm always like wishing I had a Crime instead, because like I'll end up searching Solic a lot of the time with how I play this deck, or both traps. So on turn 1 at least. So you don't want to have 2 Solic, like. So that's the 41 card main deck. I feel like I went through that really quickly compared to what I thought I would. So we're gonna get into the extra deck. This is kind of really standard, but like it's a lot of tight extra deck space, so I always find it interesting, the couple picks that people do. So we'll do the Tearlament fusion cards. Just broken. I mean, I don't know. I wish I could play like 2 Kaleido, 2 Kikalos, because so many times I will end up banishing the Kaleido, or someone will end up banishing my Kaleido Heart, and that sucks. And same with Kakalos. But that's also why you run the Crime. Like, I think Crime is super good for recycling in that game, and when you only play one of each. I saw some OCG lists not running Rokalos, and I'm kind of confused on that because it's just very good. And like, you wouldn't be able to end on Dracostapelia, so I don't know, without instant fusion. So Garuda, if you want to have the Kaleido Heart up too. So Mud Dragon Garuda is really standard. I mean, I'm thinking about running Super Poly, so these cards are more live, but like, this is really good to do the Mud Dragon lock, where your opponent can't target your board, and you basically will have an unbreakable board if they can't run you over, when you especially have like Scream and the field spell, just backing your guys up. And Garuda's really good. I like making Beatrice with him and drawing a card. Very good. And then here comes like the best cards in the side. Oh, I forgot the Dracostapelia for the other fusion. Yeah, this guy's great, but like, I only ever make him on my opponent's turn, like, nowadays. I mean, it's really good for a board that won't get super polyed, but I genuinely don't feel like people are playing super poly. That might change now with the ban list, and I might even start doing that. I feel like it would be a good tech maybe in a regional at this point. But because not a lot of people are building boards with like Stapelia plus a Dweller. People are building Rulikalos plus Dweller, so, which is a very easy board to just sweep up with Super Poly. And this guy is always just like pretty much live on my opponent's turn, because I'll just like, you know, just whatever, mill a fusion and then mill a Tearlament, make him. However, and then the link cards, the best cards, as I was saying, it's basically like this deck uses the Sprite extra deck better than Sprite does. At least these two link monsters. And Sprint is just incredible. I think it's like the best one. Like, it just gets you there. It always guarantees you a Merly in the grave, and then also it's really good for Scattershot when you want to scum out those wins in time. And Sprite Elf is super important, just for, especially the untargetability is just like broken, honestly. But you know, just when you have a Diviner in the graveyard and you can just revive it on your opponent's turn and just, you know, fusion 3 times off the mill 5, it's pretty nice. And then Dark is, you kind of have to play Dark. Like, if you're not playing Dark, you're really, because there's always going to be like a Magnemite engrave that you can take and +1 off of, and then just link into like Sprint if you don't have the level 2. So here's the Xyz now. Oh yeah, also Dweller. I was like, where's the Dweller? So these could change up, honestly. Except for Dweller and Baguska. You need this for Flunder. You need this for the mirror match. It's just so good. And then Zeus is like, you don't run an Exciton, and a lot of the time, like, I don't run also access code, so he's the only option for boards I need to blow up, basically, when I need it, and it's very free. It's just a rank 4, which this deck makes very easily between the Ishizus and like Shiran. So yeah, that's there. I mean, I could see myself potentially cutting this if I found more important options, but I don't find Asua and Access Code Talker to be more important. And then like Time Thief is there for that reason too. Like, I could run an Asua. Got her right here. I was running her, but like, I went back to Time Thief because like Time Thief is just like really good when you have like a bad hand, and then you have like one tier that level 4 that you didn't get like a fusion off of, and then you have like an Ishizu you can Time Thief, and then you can get your fusion off of his effect. Comes up actually a lot. And then also a lot of the time you'll be making a rank 4 in like against like Rogue, and you don't want to go either of these guys, so like Redoer is just like infinitely better in that situation. The rest of the extra deck, Beatrice and Barone, I'm gonna have to cut that in. Kind of forgot these two guys. So yeah, Barone's just broken with Diviner. And so here is the extra deck, or side deck, yeah. I feel like this is really this is one of the parts I'm most proud of, honestly, between like cribbing off of all these deck lists, because I feel like it's super important to have like a really just broken going second. Like this extra deck or the side deck is all going second for the most part. I mean, you can sub some of these in going first, but like the deck's really good already going first. That's why you have the crime. So like going second, it's pretty easy to like side out and then just like put in stuff that just stops your opponent. Oh, I was just making sure that the thing was working because it went dark. And so these guys are really good against anything that's not tier going second. You basically side this in against anything going tier, not tier, and you basically win when you destroy Effect Valor, one of their cards, and they neg too. So Scatter Shot, you kind of have to run. It's really, really, really good for winning in time. And that's why Sprint is also very good, because you can just send this. Now, like, I feel like I hate time rules, so it's like what is. I was thinking about running like Mourners and Ladybugs for more time, but I just find they're not good enough to warrant over these cards, because like the rest of the cards will just win games, whereas like extra time cards don't win it all the time. So Saronir, you always now, this is the Tearlaments side going second. These should be go spells. I'm just gonna say this right now. These should be go spells, but I don't have them on me, so these are the next best thing. Like, but if you were to make this deck, do go spells. Saronir is very good. It's just, you side these in and you basically win on top of like you have like 18 hand traps. I took this from the recent YCS winner. He explained it like that. You have like 18 hand traps essentially going second against tier. Like, you're gonna have like some options if you draw like two of these like two bestials and like, or like plus this, or like just any combination. You basically like win the game always going second, because you have to stop 3 fusions. So like if these are bells, you're able to stop like 3 fusions always. Like, this is just, I guess, okay. Like the cherries just to stop the fusion, but I don't think it's better than bell personally right now. I mean, it's okay against Sprite too. I don't think this really warrants the space right now. And then 2 Twin Twister. I wish it was 3. I don't know how prevalent Macrocosmos and D-Fissures is going to be, especially on the local level and regional level. So I'm going to be running this for now, but I could see myself upping this to 3 plus a Harpy Feather Duster, depending on things. But it's already, like, honestly a tight side deck as it is. I mean, I could cut the Herald. Triple Tactics. 2, I might run 3 in the future. It's just very good. Very important card. So that's what I'm playing right now. That's my deck. And so I'm gonna try this Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber thing for a little bit, just as like I have a lot of free time now. So we'll see how that goes. I might go AFK again for years, who knows. But I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh again, so when I have spare time, I'll just like upload deck profiles and like other fun stuff perhaps. And we'll go from there. So I will be seeing you guys later, and thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed my deck profile, and subscribe for more if you'd like to see more, because that'll tell me to make more videos. But I'll probably be doing that either way, because I love YouTube, and since 2009 I was making Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube videos. I sadly deleted the videos, but it was really it was a great experience being in that community, even in 2009 as a kid. So, and coming back when I was here in 2014 was pretty good. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's like a part of my life. I love it. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will be seeing you guys later. Peace out.